everyone, I'm Tanya, and this is Black Women Read reviews of books, zines, and everything in between. So, a couple of months ago, I noticed a post on my newsfeed about pre orders for a new project called Spoken Black Girl magazine. Of course, being the lover of independent press that I am, I placed an order right away. I got busy and kind of forgot about it, so I was pleasantly surprised when it arrived in the mail the other day. Spoken Black Girl magazine focuses on the issues of mental health, self care, and self love. This is their mission statement. At Spoken Black Girl magazine, we believe that healthy living is more than just exercise, diet, or even therapy. It is all of those things combined and more. Self love means taking care of the body, mind, and soul with the purest ingredients, the best mental health options, and meaningful discussions on spirituality and growth, everything the millennial woman of color needs to flourish. Self care has become a buzzword in recent years, particularly in social justice work, so sometimes it gets casually tossed around. But there is real value to engaging in self care, and it is an act of resistance, especially for Black women. There is often talk of Black women being superheroes, Black women who climb poles to take down Confederate flags, Black women who stand fearlessly in the face of hostile police, or Black women climbing the Statue of Liberty. It is meant as a compliment, but we must remember that Black women, Black people, are only human, and the constant fight against racism and other isms take their toll. Spoken Black Girl magazine was conceived by editor Rowana Abensetz, and I might be butchering her name a little bit. The magazine is based on a blog of the same name she started several years ago. She decided to expand into publishing after growing discontent with blogging. Her focus has always been on Black women and mental health. In her editorial, she states, "The prevalence of mental health stigma in our communities has resulted in mental illness being a silent killer. We're told to be strong, suck it up, and quit being so sensitive, which only adds to the stereotype that Black women don't feel, don't hurt, and don't cry. I call bullshit. I've seen friends and family struggle and self-destruct under the weight of mental illness, their pain dismissed or whispered about in shame." There were two articles in the magazine that sought to bring the issue of mental health out from the cloud of shame Abensetz writes of, and give hope to Black women who might be in similar situations. In her article, Striving for Excellence, Erica Allen shared about her struggles with being a perfectionist. Trying to live up to the high standards she placed on herself, she eventually crashed and burned. I saw some of myself in Erica. I'm an ambitious person and always pushing myself to accomplish my goals. I have to constantly remind myself the world won't end if X, Y, and Z doesn't get done, and to take time for myself. Erica finally has this realization herself after falling to the pressure of being a golden child, quote unquote, and having to withdraw from college and social activities. She initially sought the support of family and friends until she was able to see a mental health professional. She writes, "My mom never realized or fully understood the impact her perfectionism had on me. I don't blame her for anything I experienced because I know that she was unaware of how her emotional baggage was transferred over to me. Generational curses are real, and I want to ensure that I don't pass on the perfectionist ideation to my children." Allen's article really highlighted the importance of allowing space for when we make mistakes and not feeling like we are failures if when things go wrong. It's cliche but true. Shit happens, or another way of saying life happens. And we shouldn't beat ourselves up, but rather take it as a learning lesson and move forward. As Allen states, there's no need to be perfect to inspire others. Let people get inspired by how you deal with your imperfections. In Speaking Her Name, How an Ancestral Connection is Helping Me Heal, Carmen Chandler wrote about her late grandmother. Chandler often wondered why, when her family visited her grandmother would stay secluded in her room, lights off. Later, she would learn her grandmother had been dealing with depression all of her life. When Chandler becomes an adult, she reflects on her late grandmother as she too finds herself being plagued with anxiety and depression. Initially, she was in denial, but decides to acknowledge how depression is impacting her life. Chandler embraces self-care and ancestral healing practices to help her manage her anxiety and depression. She honors the healers, root workers, matriarchs, and prayer warriors who came before her. She centers her grandmother as a source of inspiration. She states, "When I recommit to better self-care, to being gentle with myself, to speaking my truth, I do so not just for my spirit, but for hers. I smile at her picture or hold a piece of her jewelry." I really appreciated the openness and honesty expressed in these articles. It takes a lot of courage for young Black women to share such personal stories. So, would I recommend Spoken Black Girl magazine? Of course. I love the direction and vision of this project. And let me just say, much respect to millennium Black women and men. What I love about this generation is that they are willing to push the boundaries to address things like mental health, sexual violence, colorism, Black LGBTQIA, and other issues that have often kept the Black community stagnant. Important issues that Black baby boomers often drop the ball on, and even my generation, Gen Xers. You know, we were more open to these conversations than our parents, but we didn't challenge these issues on a deeper level. Whereas millennial Black women and men are forcing us to get beyond binary ways of thinking and alternative ways to dealing with racism, oppression, but more urgently, wanting us to be healthy, free, and whole. So yes, definitely, definitely, definitely get Spoken Black Girl magazine. It's a great resource in the journey of self-care and self-love. Thank you for listening and see you at the next video.